Well, it's a challenge that it's coming to humanity, right? It's not an architectural problem or limited to the field of architecture. So it might be interesting from that point of view, the fact that it's something to which we have to give a common response as an interdisciplinary response, right? Like professionals from every field might eventually have to come together and actually face this huge challenge, which is catastrophic, right? It's somehow apocalyptic. I think from the position in which we are as architects, that there's a lot that we can do. I mean, we know several construction materials are highly pollutant. Some of those materials make sense in certain contexts, maybe a urban context where even where some of those materials are produced, and that's why the transport is not such a costly fact. But if we think of rural environments or environments that are, let's say, far away from urban centers, it probably makes more sense to avoid using any really industrialized material that is not absolutely necessary, and try to work with what it's at hand. And in that case, there's a lot or everything that we have and we must learn from the communities that have been practicing architecture in an informal way, in a non-academic way, since centuries, right? So, I mean, I think it is exciting that challenge is posed to us all as a group of people that have to come together and put our knowledge in dialogue with the knowledge of everybody else. And at the same time, we don't have that much time to start actually acknowledging that it is an urgent matter. It's quite ironic now for me, after living for several years in an earth house, that it makes much more sense in a climate like Mexico City climate today, because it's the isolation. It's so perfect that it's never warm, it's never cold, it's never noisy. So I'm not saying, we all have to live in earth and wood and palm houses, or we can only build with those type of materials. I think in certain projects, certain examples, certain contexts, we definitely need to use, steel and concrete, and it can be absolutely justified by things that you need to achieve. But I think we are discussing how to learn from vernacular architecture and how to go back to it, and at least, of course, not in France as much, or not in Europe as much, but definitely in Central America and in North America, at least in Mexico, there is a lot of vernacular architecture that is today in danger, and that we are not protecting and not taking care of, and that we are losing as we speak.